Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing T Street. Today's mug says, "She is fearless." It was a gift from one of my specials, Tamika from Uniquely Teas. And I love that mug. But can I just tell you today, there are times when I am fearless, and there are times when I don't feel fearless. But let's be clear, just because you don't feel something doesn't make it so. Today I want to cover the topic coffee with tea when grief is under the tree. As we enter the holiday season, some folks like me celebrate Christmas. Some folks celebrate Hanukkah. Some folks celebrate Kwanzaa, whatever we celebrate. But personally, I celebrate Christmas. And so I historically put up a Christmas tree because it has been my family's tradition. My mom started that tradition when we were kids. We had Christmas trees. And so it's carried over into our families as we've all grown up. My brother, sister, and I, we put up Christmas trees in our homes for our children. And I hope that, we will continue that tradition with my grandchildren and all of their grandchildren. So that is our thing. We put up a Christmas tree. Yesterday, I was home working. I've been home most of the week sick. And yesterday, I felt a little better. So I actually was at home working. And I understood something. I think that the reason in the past few years I've become even more of a workaholic in this season is because it keeps me from focusing on the fact that grief is under my tree. Yep, it's under my tree. I don't care how many times I try to pass the tree and pretend it's not there, it's there. If any of you are like me and grief is under your tree, some of the ways that we choose to deal with grief is as it's under our tree, we look at it like we do other kinds of gifts and we go, there's grief sitting right there. Maybe if I don't shake the box, I'll pretend like I don't know what's in that particular box, even though I know that's the grief box. Some of us walk past it with our heads in the air because we're like, I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see it. Some of us, we pretend that it's not under there at all. I got this. I got this. I'm not grieving. I got this. I'm not even going to acknowledge that there's something under that tree called grief. Now, some of y'all are the people who are in therapy. Some of y'all are the people who y'all just open up the grief box and you let it like all hang out under your tree. And when you open it up, you let your feelings come forward with the grief. And however we choose to deal with the grief that's under our holiday tree, at some point, we have to face the fact that it's there. Now, grief isn't always about loss of loved ones. For some of us, it very much has to do with loss of loved ones who are no longer here, for whom this season has special meaning. Some folks this year and other years are grieving the loss of jobs, the loss of promotions, the loss of marriages, the loss of friendships. Some of the folks I know are grieving the loss of elections this year. Folks can be grieving all kinds of things. And so this year and in this season, we have to acknowledge that under some people's trees is a gift box labeled to your name, T, from grief. And so the question is, how will we confront and deal with the gift that is under the tree called grief? Now, T, why do you call it a gift? Well, not every gift is good. They tell me that when kids aren't good, sometimes the gift that they get is coal. That's not necessarily a good gift, but it's a gift nonetheless. Sometimes grief doesn't feel like a good gift. But can I tell you, grief has taught me to be more compassionate to other people. Grief is a gift that has opened itself up. I've always been afraid of death and dying and anything associated with it. But ever since the death of my mother, I've been called to be somebody who stands in the gap for people who are grieving in loss. If somebody had told me that that would be a ministry that would be mine, I'd have looked at them and said, I know you lying. Because that has never really been something that, one, I aspired to, or two, that I ever thought would be my lot or my portion. Can I just tell you, whatever is happening in this season, open the box. Allow whatever you feel when you open the box and you see whatever that grief gift is. Allow yourself to feel it. Because the moment that you feel whatever you're feeling, it's one more way that you know that you are fully alive. Because when you're not alive, you don't have the capacity to feel wholly the pain that comes with grief. And can I tell you, every moment that I grieve my mom, I also celebrate that I get to feel this pain because of all of the years of joy that came from loving her and being loved by her. So I just want to encourage you that whatever the gift of grief is for you this year, know that you don't carry it alone. If you are a Christian and you celebrate Christmas, the name Jesus means Emmanuel, or God with us. And so we know that whatever we're going through, whatever that grief box gift is under our tree, we don't have to endure it alone. So I just wanted to encourage you today that whatever you're going through, if grief is under your tree, whether you walk by it or you pretend it doesn't exist, it's still there. So you might as well open up the box and allow yourself to feel whatever it is. If you need to get therapy, get therapy. If you can't afford it, find a church where someone has counselors on staff who can talk to you for free. Reach out to a friend who can be that comforter. But don't assume that grief is always associated with loss of a loved one. It could be loss of a dream, loss of a child who hasn't found their way. It can be loss of your friendships, loss of marriages, whatever it is. Just know that you don't have to endure it alone. I'm the Amazing T Street, and today I'm going to unpack just a few more ornaments, and in doing so, I might find some more gifts of grief under my tree. And you know what? I'm going to open them up and allow myself to feel. Have an amazing day.